Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first edition of Arkansas Wrestling Unleashed. Um, this is definitely a trial and error episode. We're going to see how all this stuff flows together. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be talking about Arkansas wrestling in general. Um, no politics, no BS. Just we want to put everybody over the best of our ability. Um, So with that being said, and hopefully somebody starts watching soon, you can definitely find us on what's up, Logan? Uh, on here on Facebook, and we also on YouTube. We've got several pages that this goes through. That's annoying me. But Facebook, with the way they do things now, is that after 30 days, the live videos are being deleted. So if you want to go and check some of the older videos that we have put out, make sure you hit us up on YouTube. That's going to be the best way. You can also watch us on YouTube. That's usually the clearer form of everything. And I see people are popping on already. We got Logan Light watching. We got Insane Dane watching. Good to see you on here, man. But what I'm going to do now, before we get into these shows and showing these flyers and showing some of these upcoming shows here in Arkansas, I'm going to bring on a special guest, somebody that a lot of people highly respect in Arkansas, a guy that has really put his heart and soul into Arkansas wrestling. I'm talking about the one and only Sleazy E. What's going on with that beautiful hair today, man?
It's down just for you, my friend. Just I'm keep.
Wow, I didn't even realize how long that was, dude, when we were talking before we aired.
I know. Check
Uh,
that. Yeah, I'm keeping the robe closed. Where it was a family show somewhat, and so thanks for having me. And hey, it's time that we lay it all out there, and we got a big umbrella in Arkansas with wrestling, and we're here to talk about it. And
oh
I'm
my Jesus. Yeah, we when we were talking about getting this going and everything like that, and you said you wanted to be on, I sent you a list of shows in Arkansas, and I just kept finding more and adding to it. I did not realize
you remember
how many shows there are in Arkansas.
Do you remember the number that was on that list? Because I mean, it was at least 25 or 30.
It's something
And
like that.
and that's pretty wild comparatively. What 7 or 8 years ago, maybe there was a
Oh
hand.
man, yeah. Well, and that was when we were under the athletic association and everything like that. Getting your promoter's license was it wasn't that it was a difficult thing to do. It was an expensive thing to do. Uh,
Exactly.
and and then every show was just, I mean, it would just cost you out the wazoo just to put on a show, much less paying the boys, as compared to paying the athletic commission. So
If they decide to show up, they want some money in their pocket, and they're getting their money whether they show up or not. And yeah, that held it back. But now it seems like I don't want to start it off on a wrong foot. It's almost like everybody's running a show now.
it is a bit of an oversaturation in some point. And then again, this is nothing towards any specific show, but especially like Northeast Arkansas, there
Oh,
are a lot of shows up there. And
packed.
again, most of them, there's a lot of them that are working together.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting very similar rosters for each show. So
Mm-hmm.
but then again, you have your other shows that you have very specific people just working those shows. So, I, you know, it's a saturation, but it's also you still get that variety. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
There's a solid pool. I think we have a solid pool, and I think those places that are working together, it's not even a politicky, clicky kind of thing. I think that people are putting the most opportunities they can together for their crew that wants to be in that part of their part of the pool, and they're just going for it. So you no shame in that.
no, not at all. Because I remember, before COVID hit, there was a group of us that, I mean, a good 7 or 8 of us that we were being booked on shows all over the state. And somebody made a joke, well, what makes the shows different? Well, it's primarily in how you present these different performers, because I know, like myself personally, if I could be working this show and I'm, semi main event guy, but then I go over here, I'm one of the opening guys that's getting 5 minutes, So I mean, that's how it is, on that. If you do it correctly, you can use that same roster in multiple shows and continuously still have completely different shows in the process,
100%. And I think that's a great way to think, because it it doesn't have to be such a hard line, like any given night anybody can win, anybody can lose. So when you got a solid roster and you got everybody working hard, they're all going to stay strong.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. So what we're going to do is I have what's going on, Chris? Pop up the favorite monsters.
Oh yeah, baby.
So what we're going to do is let me see if this works. I've got a little bubble that's supposed to pull out some of the comments on the screen here. But what we're going to do is I've got a little setup over here where I can pull up different overlays showing these different flyers that I went through. I did a lot of research trying to find, what shows are running, not even just this month, but within the next few months. I think I've got a couple that are even like in November that may be on here. That's if I can find the flyer. Now, anybody that's on here watching, hold on. I used to hate that as a commission, but I think we need it back. It would definitely weed out some of these companies fix the oversaturation problem to an extent. That's a loaded statement there, because it may, but on top of that, there's a lot of these guys that are younger that came up without the athletic commission and would probably be chomping at the bit to do it no matter what. The one thing I liked about it, I liked the blood work thing.
Hey, that's numero uno. That's one thing I didn't mind it back then, and I don't mind it now.
No, I don't have a problem with it at all. But anyway, let me pop back over here. All right, so there are a few shows that run weekly. The first one I'm going to pop up here, they run every Friday night. It's MCW up in Osceola.
Oh yeah,
a lot of loaded talent up there, a lot of good young talent up there too, as well, with some good experienced veterans. I could not find their Friday flyer for this week, but I did find this right here. Saturday, August 9th. Looks like they're going to be back in Mark Tree, Arkansas. Bloodline Betrayal. I'm not sure on the thought, what the deal is with the name on that, but I did see apparently one of the favorite tag teams up in that area, Party Factory, split up there. So do what?
Drama.
Right. But them guys are always putting on a really good show. It's always a really fun time to watch the live videos that I can catch of them. Really, they bring in a lot of good talent. They use a lot of good talent that's up in that area and out of Tennessee and whatnot. Really worth checking out if you get a chance.
Long running show too. They've been running for a long time. So.
I think it's one of the longest running ones that's currently open outside of ASWF before Ricky passed away.
Hey, ASWF is still alive. I'll tell you what, baby.
It's still alive. It's more under the MACW banner, but they are still keeping alive to dealing with the Valiant Arena and all that. So it's a good deal. I think it's my microphone that's making some staticky noises. It's bothering me.
Probably those headphones just wrapped up in your head. Mine's playing out loud on my phone, and it ain't bothering me. Or maybe
you're not hearing like the static when I talk.
Not really. It's
okay.
The phone or whatever. It doesn't sound like static. I've heard the static in my headphones before, and I don't really hear anything. Maybe on the.
All right. So going on to our next one is a show that runs every Saturday night over in Hoxie, Arkansas.
Oh,
And oh, I see that Chris said that X beat up Zach because they lost their title. They were tag champs, and so and Mark is straight up. MCW is a great show. Yes, 100% agree with that.
I wouldn't want a tag partner that did that to me anyway. Showed his true colors. The other guy's gonna come out on top. He'll come out better for it.
All right, so like I said, the next show I'm going to talk about a little bit, OCW, out of Hoxie, Arkansas. They basically here, over the last few months, had a complete re-up on everything right here. This coming Saturday, Road to King of OCW. They've got a bigger show coming up, where they're doing like a King of the Ring type tournament.
Nice.
Lot of good talent here too, man. I've worked with a lot of these guys. Again, I really enjoy it. Justin Klein talking crap about another podcast. Go figure, Justin Klein talking crap about something.
Dog, biggest turd of all time. I'm telling you, I just can't handle it. And I know he just goes for it as hateful as can possibly be. But anyways, well, we don't got to waste time on that fool.
Right. But yeah, OCW definitely another long running show. Like I said, they've changed things up here recently, but man, from what I've seen, man, they're doing good. They're putting out good content. The fellow right there with the other two guys, that Empire, Mick Vicious, said, and Solomon Hyde. Man, that's a scary group of guys right there. They seem to be running roughshod over it, but good show to see, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, OCW's got that fresh coat of paint, and they're running some good shows for sure.
Hold on, just a second. I'm gonna catch up on some of these comments.
I can't even. I can see the littlest comment there, and
yeah, I just have it so that way I can kind of notice, if I need to pop something up there. Justin Klein and trying to get us over and all, but there you go. Yeah, Mark is agreeing. OCW and MCW,
get over
great shows. Do what?
I'm telling Justin Klein to get over himself. But yeah, he's got the skinny.
Oh, Palace is watching too. So, all right. So next one I've got here, like that, these are in no particular order. They're just however they hit into my little deal overlay over here. Coming up, TNR, Saturday, August 16th, New Dynasty.
Oh yeah.
And you see they got their new champions on there. The Cajuns won the tag belts, and DDK with the Buffalo Island Junior something or other. Good Sorry, job. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that is just way too many words for a belt.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, it looks like they're going to be popping up in Leechville on August 16th. I tell you, they seem to be doing good.
Yeah, they're holding Leechville down for a while in a few different places. They work with all kinds of different promotions, so I'm sure it'll be a good show.
Well, and that's a good segue right there, because it seems like they're going to be working with Southern Championship Wrestling. I believe they did their last show out in Batesville. But it looks like September 27th, they're doing a co-branded show over in Pocahontas. So that's definitely something to check out.
Have you heard much about the Southern Championship Wrestling? I haven't heard much about them before.
No, I know who runs it. I don't know if they want that out there or not, but I know they, like what's his name? Tim Hansen is there.
Yeah.
Vinny Romano.
Yep.
I met him.
Did they they did that Batesville show? That was their show. That was that one at the field. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, that was Southern Championship Wrestling. SCW, not to be confused with South Central Wrestling, which we'll get to. I could not find a current flyer for South Central Wrestling. They're based out of Mountain Pine, but they just did a show this last weekend out in Hazen, so they probably haven't got the promotional material out there yet. But yeah, a couple of guys putting up here. Tyler says that's a sexy man up there, and David.
No, he did.
AWA Markomania Super Heavyweight. Yeah, I've seen that belt. It's a nice looking belt.
That's a beautiful belt. That's a beautiful belt.
TNR, some good ones. Outsider, fan favorite. Oh yeah, definitely. Outsider's always been a fan favorite up in that area. So I'm gonna pull up the next one. This one is for Classic Championship Wrestling. They are doing a show in Alma, August 16th. And from what I understand, CCW has absorbed Diamond State Wrestling. They have bought them out. So now it is a somewhat not necessarily a co-branded show, but they have brought in a lot of the Diamond State guys. You see Xander Gold, Pineapple Jack. You know they're doing some good things up there. But this show is on the 16th in Alma. If you're up in the Fort Smith, Alma area, make sure up in that area. Make sure you go check them out.
Yeah,
it
looks like a good one.
Definitely. All right, so now we're going to move down to down a little bit south. We got a couple of shows that run down in that area. First one here is for Hype and Glory. They are typically out of Texarkana, but this one looks like they are working in Hope, Arkansas, for the Watermelon Festival.
Nice.
This is the first annual Melon Mayhem on August 8th at 6 p.m. And I love the guy that runs Hype and Glory. Absolutely love that guy. I can't do. I wish he ran on Saturdays where I could actually work for him some, but he runs on Fridays, so I don't ever get a chance to work there.
Those Fridays are tough.
But yeah, you got the Watermelon Festival, Hype and Glory. If you haven't had a chance, check those guys out on Facebook. You're going to see a lot of guys from South Arkansas and from Texas that work there a lot. Greg, I see your comment there. I hadn't got to that one yet, but I've got it's on the board. So, but in another one that's up in that area is Haybarn Championship Wrestling. They are out of Prescott. And looks like August 9th, Saturday, they got the Recessed Rumble. They do a lot of stuff for the schools and in that area. Chris, I see you wrestling with Pride one. I've got that one on the board here too. I just hadn't got to it yet. But yeah, they do a lot of stuff for the schools, a lot of donations and stuff like that. And I believe I didn't download the flyer, but they are also taking donations for water and stuff like that. So, like I say, if you're down in that area, look, you got a double shot here. You got Friday the 8th, you're gonna get to see Hype and Glory, and then the 9th you get to see Haybarn. A bunch of good people there on that.
Weekend of fun.
Do what?
The full weekend of fun.
Oh, most definitely. So, all right. So this one's a little bit farther out, but I definitely had to find it and pull this in here. So, All Pro Wrestling, typically based out of Marianna. APW to me is one of the top shows in the state.
Has been for a while for sure.
I have worked there with them, and like these guys know how to put on a great show. They are really talented. They bring in a lot of really talented people, and they got a lot of homegrown talent, that trained in house.
Solid homegrown talent.
Yeah, you see a lot of those guys all over the state working, and I mean, they're doing good things there. But on October 4th, we got the Smitty 2.
Nice.
It's going to be in West Memphis, Arkansas. If you are able to get there, get there. Definitely 100% recommend going to watch a APW show. Highly professional, very good talent.
Yep.
Have you worked with APW any yet?
I haven't got to. I was booked one time back whenever I was trying to take as many wrestling bookings as I could, and sometimes things don't pan out. But it was a go. I was bugging them for a long time, and they gave me the shot, and then something fell through on my end. But no, I've been keeping up with them for a long time. It's a great product, and like I haven't been, like I said, I haven't been to one of their shows live, but you can see in their pictures and their draw and different in their ability to continue to grow, not just
Yeah.
continue to run, but continue to grow, and that I mean that's just right in front of your face. So
Yeah, we get to work for them a few times a year typically. And I enjoy it every time. I really do. Good group of guys that they're, the booker's always bringing in really talented people, uh, and everything like that. Tyler wants to know what's the sleazy hair routine. We'll get to that in a little bit after we finish going through these flyers.
I got
So.
Dan. That's all you need to know. Let's move on.
All right, so now the one that Greg had commented on here, over in Fort Smith, you got Gladiator Championship Wrestling,
Hmm?
Hell on the Border, August 9th. I believe that's a Sunday, ain't it?
Wasn't that, dude? Don't get me lying.
Hold on just a second. Let me. I can't get my calendar to pull up. But even if it is, but still, hey, there you go. You had no,
Even
no, that's a Saturday. That's Saturday.
yeah.
But they bring in, like they got Soda Pop there. He's out of NWA. And he does NWA stuff over in Texas and whatnot. Really talented guys over there. Fun show to work. Uh, if you're in Fort Smith area, like I said, give them a check.
Yep. I mean I've heard of I've saw them running for a while. I haven't got to see much of the actual product. Obviously, I've saw some pictures and stuff. But hey, they've been going for a while, and it's cool to have
And
stuff there on the other side of the state. Because usually we got stuff like you said, Northeast Arkansas. We've always had the wrestling with having Memphis over there.
well,
In
and Northwest Arkansas is starting to build. We've already
yeah,
showed CCW.
mm,
Gladiators up in that area, and I've got a couple more from over in that area to pop up here in a second.
that's awesome.
Speaking of which, right here, uh, uh, Lionheart Championship Wrestling. Is that right? Yeah, Lionheart Championship Wrestling. They are going to be in Mulberry. Where is there? It is. They're going to be in Mulberry on August night. So same night. There's 3 different shows up in that area on the same night. So you definitely got your variety to pick from.
Hmm.
100%.
That looks like a
Uh,
solid show, solid poll. You got Rodney Mack. I mean, that's about as that.
I also seen another flyer where Brandon Groom is
Hmm.
going to be going against Izzy James.
Oh, that'll be
Uh,
killed.
so yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Johan Nara, current heavyweight champion, traveling the U.S. defending the title. That's awesome, man. That's good. But we're going to stick into Northwest Arkansas. We're going to talk about Ozark Mountain Wrestling.
Hmm.
This is the one that the late Kevin Nichols ran. They're going to keep it going in his honor. September 6th at National Guard Armory in Rogers, Arkansas. I don't have any details on it yet, but it's definitely going to be one worth checking out.
Absolutely, absolutely, great product and just solid show. And Mr. Nichols was a solid man, solid man.
So, all right. So we're moving back over towards. Oh wait, I got one more for that area. We got Tornado Pro Wrestling, October 11th.
All right,
Presents Fright Night. Again, that's pretty far out, so they haven't really made any announcements yet. But it's going to be in Fort Smith, Arkansas. I believe there's a possibility of a creepy group that runs around Arkansas that might be at this show. So stay tuned and check it out.
oh,
I'm gonna leave it at that right now. But moving back over to Northeast Arkansas. So I ain't moving too fast for you, am I?
no, I'm always moving slow, but I'm right along there with you.
Well, I just want to make sure you're getting if you got anything to say on anything, man, cut me off, dude. I get to
No,
talking, and I just won't shut up.
I've been doing it this whole time. I've been doing it this whole time. Don't worry about it.
Where did that go? All right, right there. All right, so we're gonna move back over to Northeast Arkansas. Got a couple of shows coming up in that area. Got Wrestling with Pride doing their 2nd-year anniversary, Unbroken. Also August 9th. So August 9th is just packed
It's pop.
full.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's popping. Hey, 2-year anniversary show is always big. It looks like Outsider's up there ready to stick his boot in somebody's butt. You just never know. I mean, Wrestling with Pride, TNR Wrestling. They're working hard and they're doing the dang thing. That's for sure.
Well, and that's like I said, there's a group of several shows that are working together, and here comes another one. Wrestling for Glory. It's going to be in Searcy, August 23rd. That's in your neck of the woods, ain't it?
Boys, that's my town now. I don't know if y'all know this, but like not just the buildings, the backyard too. So just you better holler at me. When is that? August 23rd. You better call me.
August 23rd.
I'll show up. I'll make a scene.
Also up in that area, out in Tuckerman, you got MACW on August 9th again. There was a couple of different flyers with different matchups on it. This is the one that I grabbed. Kane on a pole match for the MACW tag titles. I believe also advertised KJ Rocket and Zia Wolf will be in there. Palace, your town, my ass.
Oh yeah, you better bring it, you creepy bastard. But yeah, well, Dave is more than enough of a reason to show up to that show. So yeah, MACW, the legacy continues.
All right, so next up here, I got Wild Card Wrestling. They're doing a
WCW.
Right. Friday, August 8th. They're doing a benefit show. I believe this is for a benefit Ronnie Spence, who recently passed away. I'm not sure on that, if that's what it's actually for or not. But definitely, if you're in the area, check it out.
Yep.
Coming up to one that's near and dear to my heart because I am definitely 100% a part of this. This Sunday at Kapow Comics, we are doing another show for Brothers of Four Pillars. Also doing a backpack drive, and I'm not going to really go too much in detail on that one because here in a little while I will have Kay Toomer on the show to talk all about that. But definitely definitely one to check out.
Do it for the kids.
Why you gotta get so close up to the mic? All right, one last flyer that I got here. Sleazy, I think you might know a little bit about this one. I'm not sure. So just take my word for it.
I'm not up
it's
on
possible.
I'm not on top of things the way that you know what.
Natural State Wrestling. No ring show.
Yeah, so there you go. Tell me about it. You got all the research on the other shows. What do you know about this show?
It'll be outside, no ring, no rules. What else does this flyer say? Sunday, August 17th from 4 to 10. Looks like you're gonna have some live music and everything, and then a dedicated visual art studio will be there as well. Oh my Lord, I love those guys. Love those guys. Yeah, fill us in on a little bit of info, man.
Yeah, hey, we're not running August 9th, so that's the first thing that you need to know. But we are running on a Sunday, so it's going to be a little twofer because not only is it a birthday party for the one and only leader of the dedicated visual art studio, but all the proceeds will be going directly to families affected by ice. And so we won't only have no ring wrestling, we'll have live music, we'll have food, we'll have tamales. And we're, it's from 4 to 10. We decided to start a little bit later and just party during the evening time, and so it won't be as hot. But we don't care. Ring, no ring, air, the sun, the heat, whatever it takes, because that's the Natural State Wrestling way. But yeah, you got to come on out.
That comment's for you from Mr. William Stephen. Can't
Look,
stop and chat, but I love Sleazy Crazy Style. Don't worry about me. I'm okay.
oh my God, you're part of his legacy.
So Sleazy, since we ended the flyer, and again, if your flyer didn't make it, that's honestly because you didn't send me any info. I did research a lot of these. Some of these were sent to me to put this stuff over, but in all honesty, yeah, I can do all the research I can do, but I can't do this alone. So if
Yeah.
you've got information on a show coming up, send it to me. We'll put it over. I'm not going to be doing this every single week, but hey, I might do a back-to-back week. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
But tell us a little bit more about some of the stuff that before we get into that. Sleazy, I gotta ask you what made you want to become a promoter? What really got you in that mode to feel like, okay, this is the time. Now is the time. I've got to become a promoter and open my robe more, please. But
As far as back, TB, you've already saw this movie before. You saw the real, but to tell you the truth, so you wrestled on like technically my very first show about 10 years ago, a
yep,
benefit show. Technically, I mean that was under MACW, but that was my benefit that I put on for my friend.
I
And
remember that show very well.
same. That was a big time. And then look at us now. Now we're old and grumpy and shit. So I would like to say I've always wanted to do the promoting stuff because I just like the whole creative aspect of it, and I like helping out and giving opportunities, which I didn't really even understand that the benefit of that because for a long time I was just an old drunk referee. So like, who am I going to give an opportunity to? So I think when it comes down to it, the no ring wrestling was it. They say necessity is the mother of invention. I'm not saying I invented the no ring wrestling. That's been going on long before me, but I knew I needed to start that style here in Arkansas. And so once I started that, then shortly after that, I had the wrestling at the Rice Festival. I pulled that off, and I was really proud of myself. And then we ran for about a year or so, and then January 1st, 2025, we popped off Natural State Wrestling.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know if it was the first one, but it was one of the first no ring shows. I actually got to be a part of that one.
Yeah, technically
Uh,
the first full card. Yeah, Volume 1, 420. Yeah.
okay, I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember if you did one before that one or not. We were actually doing a show for Memphis right down the road, and we got done. And I was like, "Hey, man, need some help?" Like, yeah, come on.
For sure. Yeah, hey, we took that 3-match card to a 5-match card, and I was really happy about that. So, but
And
that yeah.
then
So before that, there was 2 just singular matches that happened at Dedicated. But then that was the first full no ring thing where I actually had like a product that I could use and pitch it to people and say, hey, we could do this literally anywhere.
and you definitely brought a style like the hardcore style has not been out of Arkansas at all. 'Cause, I mean, there's a lot of shows that you see a lot of the hardcore wrestling and all, but visually, you brought something completely different from what everybody else was doing. Even on your regular shows that have, they're set up in the ring and all, you're bringing in guys from all over. Like the one that uh, where was it? The one that I was part of, Mosquito Fest. You
McCroy.
know, yeah, McCoy. You brought in Insane Dane, who beat me up with an inflatable pencil, and then Santa Chiva, I think that's how you say his name, and going viral with
Yeah.
that slide spot that I'll be honest with you, I was upset about because that we wanted to do, but it is what it is.
Y'all came up to me and I said, oh my God, I hate to break it to you guys.
But it was fine. We did our thing, and there were some kids right there in the front row that had many memories. I probably have a scar from the seam on that inflatable bat, but we're not going to get into that. But
Yeah,
no,
that so out of hand, out of hand. Hey, that one got over 10,000 views on it as well. So
Really?
people really liked the pencil and the bat spot. I mean, how could you not? It's wholesome. There wasn't a single negative comment.
Oh Lord. Yeah, right here, Palace. I like hearing that, man. And honestly, Sleazy, I love hearing that for you because like that, I've known you since I started doing this. I think you were at the first show I ever worked.
Mm-hmm.
If not one of the first shows.
Yeah.
You were the first guy to give me a shot outside of strictly just working for MACW at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Put me in a big spot that I did not feel like I deserved at that time. You've always held a special place in my heart. You have more passion for this business than anybody I know, and I'll put that against anybody.
Damn. Well,
You 100% do, and for you to be successful just warms my heart, and I just got to know what's the future hold for Natural State Wrestling.
Man, that's very, very kind. I know you mean it. I know you wouldn't say it if you didn't mean it, but you said it with your chest to the whole wide world on the World Wide Web. So I do appreciate that, man, and that gives me a lot of reassurance. But I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm gonna have to scale it back next year. I popped it off, and I thought maybe my goal was like, yeah, we'll have like maybe 5 shows, this year, and then within 2 months we had like 6 of them, and so it's just snowballed. And at this point, we're just along for the ride because I had some plans, and then those plans happened, and other stuff starting to happen, and now I've realized it. Like, as much as I appreciate you saying like my passion and like I've driven this thing, it's out of my hands, and it's way bigger than me. And like I'm honored, to even be a part of like anything, period, let alone like something so different, like you said. But at this point, it's its own monster, and I just only hope that it can, when someone steps into it, it can spew them up. Oh yeah.
Why don't you read that comment right there?
That's what I'm talking about, big man. Yeah, we've had many of solid conversations and stuff like that. The conversations I've had with him is one of the reasons why I'm able to keep doing it and know what I'm doing, and be sure of what I'm doing. So at this point, just try and keep it different, and hopefully whenever someone comes into Natural State Wrestling, and then they get, because everybody's got all their things. We don't have like a solid roster, like you said. We got all kinds of different people. I hope whenever someone comes around at Natural State Wrestling, we shine them up or do something good for them. So whenever they go to the next spot, wherever it is, even if it's the same place they were, they're better off than they were. Like that. That's the goal.
And that right there, you just proved what I said about you, right there.
Yeah.
With that statement.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I've looked at a lot of your, the show, even the shows that I wasn't. What's up, Jay? The shows I wasn't even on. Seeing the movement they had. Like, you got to do with JCW's the float. I mean, come on, Juggalo float. I mean, come on now. How many promoters can say that shit?
Not very many. That was one of my big kickers. I can't call myself a juggalo because I'm not. I love the juggalo culture. I love the juggalos. I just don't know if I'm like. I mean, after the float, I did show somebody my butthole. So I think I may officially be a juggalo after the float.
Is that why Buddy did this?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I
and
think,
like, because the NSR, your family, man.
You are.
And that's the way it should be. No politics, no bullshit.
Yep.
That's what, and that's been my motto since day one.
Mm-hmm.
No politic and no bullshitting. If I come to your show and you tell me that this is what you need from me, that's what you get.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
And it's like it's basically like just keep it simple, because and at the end of the day we're all playing the game. So like if you we're all playing the game. We all have to do things strategically, and we all have to think about what we're doing. But as soon as you cross that line into stepping on whatever someone else is doing, whether that be their belief in themselves or like what they're doing or anything, like once you start crossing that line and making yourself holier and bigger than thou, that's the problem. But we're all crazy. We're all egomaniacs. But everything can happen. Look at that. TB, that's my baby boy. But anyway, I don't let me get too philosophical. But yeah, I mean that's the name.
And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about Arkansas wrestling in general. Any of the shows. That's what this is about. Is us. My goal is to help create some kind of network to where everybody can find out about what's going on in Arkansas. People think, well, I'm only pigeonholed to work with this area or this group. No, there is so much more to this state.
Unless they're paying your bills, your rent and your car payment and your groceries and shit like that. And if you got kids, if they're paying for your kids and stuff, then you just work for them. But unless that's the case and you're an independent wrestler, you can wrestle wherever you want. And if someone tries to hold that over you, then that's a problem with them, not with you, because that's the name of the game.
Well, and everybody, we all need to grow together. That's 100% what has to happen. We have to grow together, so that way this stigma about Arkansas wrestling goes away, and it's in the process of that.
Yep.
You see, GCW came through, Juggalo Championship Wrestling's been through. I mean, you see these bigger dang shows popping up. That means we're doing something right around here.
And you can see some of the people straight from Arkansas are getting big independent opportunities and
Yeah.
building, and it's snowballing. And it's not only just the people doing that; all of these different things are snowballing. So I mean I can't complain about any of it. My only complaint that I would do, listen, here's my soapbox to anybody, and you don't have to be as extreme as I do, because I make sure I have my full show. Oh yeah, but Buddy's the man. Buddy's,
Yeah.
and then he's making natural state wrestling a real deathmatch thing. But you don't got to be as hardcore. I get my footage. If my shows are not on film, they never happened. And we live in 2025. You don't have to have like full blown TV, and you don't have to have it as TV. Take care of your content, because that's what people pay attention to. And it doesn't have to be, you think you want to have one big flashy big thing and everybody's going to watch it, but you're wrong. You need to give people something every day, because every single day people check their phones, they check social media, and if you're feeding them a little bit every day, you're more in their mind. I can promise you that. So just work on getting more footage out there, because that's the problem with it. They can see that there's 30 wrestling shows running in Arkansas, but unless you not only get your footage, put your footage out there. It not only helps you, but it helps the people that you're working with collaborate with each other and get stuff going. That's the only that. Other than that, I think everybody's killing it. But come on, let's get some more wrestling content out there. And if anybody out there, is passionate about the Arkansas scene and looking for a little job or looking for something to do, we could really use a YouTube channel or use some kind of a page or something where it's solely people's the wrestling videos from Arkansas. And so I think that would help a whole lot, instead of just seeing the flyers and seeing EC3's over here in Mulberry, which is cool, but like we need to see it. Look, what are you looking at right now? You're looking at the screen. That's what you need.
Well, and then the only issue with that is, honestly, I tried to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I put it out there. Hey, I'm putting together this big highlight reel, and I want to do this. That, send me your info. And literally couldn't get anybody to send me anything outside of a handful of people. So that is the difficulty. That's where I get at. We got to work together on this stuff if we really want to do this. We've got to work together on things.
Yep, and these days it's too easy and for like you were saying, nobody sent you stuff. You know why? Because people really they don't even have their footage. Maybe somebody at their show the live stream on the things page, they're not gonna download the live stream and cut their match and upload their match or have that or yada yada yada. They're not gonna do that. But that's a lot more important than a lot of the stuff that people spend their time doing.
Hey, KT did one thing. He taught me how screen record works.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm old and I don't understand technical things.
Hey, screen
man,
record.
Once I learned that shit, man, I was like, all right, here's me a TikTok, here's me an Instagram, here's me another TikTok. So,
Hey, well, I feel like the whole video game stuff, literally, my first match, whenever we wrestled, that was, I think, KT's first time filming a full show, and like I think ever since that, people started kind of trying to at least prioritize getting the footage together.
Yeah.
Oh, he ain't gonna learn. He ain't ever gonna learn. He's been hitting the head too many times.
Well, Sleazy, I know, it's getting close to 9 o'clock. I know it's getting past your bedtime.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and let you cut on out of here. I do appreciate you being in here on this, the first episode of this. People don't go away though. I do have another guest that's gonna be coming on here in a few minutes.
Oh yeah.
But you got any last words before we let you go, man?
Yeah, follow follow Natural State Wrestling. Follow Natural State Wrestling. RASSLIN. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Thank you to everybody who's watched tonight. Thank you to everybody who has helped make Natural State Wrestling a thing. And all jokes, all wrestling aside, whether you believe in a higher power or not, prayers, good vibes, good intentions, send them out to our good brother Peter Van with Van Sports Management. We love you, Pete, the whole crew, and so I'll holler at you. I'll holler at you after.
Let me know what you're talking about. I don't have a clue what you're talking about on that.
That's okay. I'll hit you up. Well, I got you. Don't worry about it. Just keep them in your thoughts, keep them in your prayers. Hey, like you said, let's work together. We don't have to do the same thing. We don't have to be the same thing, but let's all just make sure we're moving it forward. Look at you. I love you, Fred. Love you, David.
That's a bit of distance for him, Fred. So, well, Sleazy, I do appreciate you being on. Like I said, I appreciate you 100%, and just keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And shout out to TB to Show. Everybody follow TB to Show. TBDASHOW. It's the sexiest man you'll ever see. But I'm gonna hop up off here and go to sleep. I think I'm gonna eat one more slice of pizza. David, I love you. I'll see you soon.
All right, brother. Be good.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Like I told him, I appreciate Sleazy being on here. We covered 90% of the shows that are happening in Arkansas that we could find. Again, if we did not put the show over, that's because we couldn't find the info or it didn't send me nothing. So, it's nothing personal on that. It's just I got to do what I got to do. So, but anyway, as I said earlier, this Sunday, I got attacked by a bug. This Sunday, the Brothers of Four Pillars Wrestling are putting on a show at Kapow Comics. It's gonna be giving out backpacks and school supplies. It's gonna be a fun time, but how are we gonna talk about this without the main guy knowing what's going on? The one and only, the big man, K Toomer. Wake up.
Huh? What's up?
Hey, Ricky, we done talked about Lionheart, man. That was earlier in the show. So, man,
I did look like I was asleep.
Yeah, a little bit.
So,
man, just wanted to get it on here. Like I said, we got this free backpack and wrestling show August 3rd. Give us a little bit more info on it, man.
August 3rd, I mean, it just is what it is, man. Giving out free school supplies, free wrestling show. That is not only just a free wrestling show; it's a networking event for anybody who want to come. Almost anybody who want to come. I will say that. Can we cuss on here, or do I got to keep it PG?
No, it's just like any other SDU network show. And we've been on here for like an hour now, so it's probably just adults watching anyway.
Cool. So I'm gonna keep it real, man, because what I love to see about stuff like this is the fact that you got a situation where you have people who work different companies, run their own shows, in whatever facet, that's all still trying to be on a positive note. And whether people are meaning to or not, it's still negative bullshit that still pops up. And that's the purpose behind anything that I do, is trying to, one, kill the negativity, two, create a networking space for all of us to get together and actually start working and making money and cross-promote with each other, because there's no reason why kids from Searcy aren't doing shows in Little Rock, and same thing and vice versa. There's no reason why certain companies don't want to work with other people because they work with other companies. There's no reason why trainers are telling people, if you work here, you can't work here. Fuck that. That's bullshit in my mind. Just being perfectly honest with you.
And that's anywhere in wrestling nowadays, not just Arkansas.
Hold on, but I'm gonna keep it honest with you though. And I don't like to toot my own horn or none of this shit like that. But when you get to different areas or different markets or things on a bigger plane, that's the business. The business is taking your ass to different companies. When I was working in Rowe, that company is full of, their homegrown talent, but they got the experienced talent coming in from other companies, not just WWE, not just TNA, AEW, all other companies that you can consider a bigger market or a bigger name. They got all of them coming in and intermingling and mixing with the NAC talent and teaching everybody down the curve all the way down the card. In my mind, I feel like that's how it should be, but my opinion don't mean shit. But I will say this. Anything behind anything that I do is, one, for my own way of trying to improve how wrestling is perceived in Arkansas, by trying to reach into different markets and put what we do in front of the eyes of people who don't necessarily follow wrestling or know that any of us fucking exist. Just because you work one company don't mean that the general public or the general audience know who the hell you are. So my role is, or my goal is, to try to set up a situation to where we're being introduced in front of some of these people. We're actually putting on a proper show or an event to show that, hey, we're not just in our underwear rolling around and hugging the people, play fighting. And then two, doing it for a good cause, man. Like I said, it's for the kids. Free school supplies, free backpacks. For the guys and girls that's working the show, everything is going to be filmed 100% top to bottom. In my own little weird way. So yeah, man, we just trying to make it do what it do.
As long as the cameras don't overheat this year. Woo! True. And I want to see the things melting in somebody's hand.
True. But I got backups, man. I get like 30.
But no, and like you were talking about, if you might be a big, and I said this earlier when I was talking with Sleazy, just because you're the main event guy here don't mean that the people here know who you are. There's the guys over in Northwest Arkansas, Fort Smith, Fayetteville, all in that area, that are extremely good talent. But that doesn't mean that when they go, like say they go to Northeast Arkansas or West Tennessee or any of that stuff, that doesn't mean those people are going to know you. So that's where the getting out, moving around and stuff, that's where that helps you out, to where it broadens your fan base to where you can be known by a larger group of people and a little bit more popularity to what you're doing.
Yep. Yeah, I think it said the projected highs for the weekend is 88 degrees.
Oh, woo! My sunburn is already feeling it anyway. So
But man, like I said though, it's, man, what we trying to do, and not just me, but my vision is to try to get a situation going to where we're taking serious, which we're on the up and up for that. Central Arkansas has become a market, because whether people want to give us credit or not, we've gone at the attention of the top companies in the nation. Now they want to come here.
Yep.
And then, like I said, a networking event, man, whether you, this is why I asked if we can cuss or not, so I can say this. Whether you fuck with me or not, bring your ass out and network. But if you come on bullshit, I will be the one to kick you out. But man, come out, have a good time, man. Network. put. I'll say this: there's a lot of shows running to where there's only 2 or 3 good matches on the card, and I'm not saying it from saying I'm sitting there watching everything. I'm just saying based off of what I look at on the flyer. Regardless if anybody want to admit it or not, we all sit up and in some way, shape, or form kind of chime in on what each company is doing to someone know, like, hey, maybe I want to go here. Maybe I want to go here. What's up with the fuss with all this guy? Who is this new guy? Who is this new girl? What's going on here? So we all sit up and do this shit, whether we want to admit it or not.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see certain flyers and I say, all right, this is the matchup. That's the only good matchup on the card. So the purpose of some of the events and the reason why I say it's a networking event that I try to do is not only just saying, hey, come on out, but see something different beyond the veils of just to show that you're working. Because sometimes some people just need to see something different for this shit to start clicking for them.
And that's what I like about like you and Sleazy as well, because I was talking to him about this as well, is bringing in people from all different areas, all different aspects, all different walks of life, which like, and it's nothing against a lot of the companies you see where you see the same group of guys every show. But at times, that it can become repetitive where you run out of ideas and all. So the way that y'all do these spot shows with bringing in all sorts of different people to be able to change it up. Like I know, like me personally, working your shows, every single time I'm doing a similar version of my gimmick, but I'm doing something completely different every one. I mean, the last wine mixer almost had a heat stroke. But that's beside the point,
True. True, but they come down and they're just me, man. I'm weird, with the way I think, and I don't call myself a booker. I don't call myself a promoter because it's not what I am and it's not what I do. But whenever I set up a show, I'm looking at it from the crowd's perspective. Is that the crowd don't know who the hell any of us are, so that's why we do the promos the way that we do. That's why if you see the talent announcements that I put out, that's why I do those descriptions the way that I do and try to build up those individual characters, but work those characters in some way, shape, or form throughout the show. At the end of the day, the spot shows that I like to throw, think of it as like a weekly episode of Power Rangers. You have your weekly villain. The villain has the come-uppers, but you got to figure out some kind of way for the good guys to come up and beat the villain's ass to send the crowd home happy. But you gotta take yourself out of your own ego and look at it and say, hey, just because I think I'm good doesn't mean that this 14-year-old kid who don't know who the hell I am may think I'm good. One big thing that I'm real big on, and you've heard me tell people this all the time, you gotta feed the crowd, especially out here. These people out here don't know the difference between the different companies out here. It's 200 companies running in Arkansas right now, and the general audience don't know who's who. They don't know what company is what. None of this shit.
They just see wrestling.
They just see wrestling. It's up to us to bring them in and show them like, hey, this ain't just a bunch of ragtag guys who just jumped in the ring because we didn't have shit to do after high school. These are professionals. They take their craft serious. This is theater. This is an art form. Oh, damn, that shit ain't fake. He really hitting him. Oh, damn, that girl is really kicked the other girl in the face. That's what we need. That's how I feel we need to be presenting a lot of stuff outside of saying, hey, I'm a wrestler. Come see me.
Yeah, it's definitely promotion. And that's what I've told a lot of people that, if you want to learn how to promote yourself, watch K Toomer stuff. Because you definitely, that's one thing, self-promotion is and I've tried my hand at it as best as I can. I'm not as good as a lot of people at, but it's not necessarily just the amount of content; it's the quality of content you try to put out there, and that's what one thing we could all learn from and all improve on. And like Brian just said, it's all about having a good story.
True.
And
So,
that's one thing. Working, the wine mixers and the Kapow shows, I always felt like there was a good story being told throughout, and I know I've been a part of several of those,
Yep.
I've always enjoyed it though.
But yeah, man, the whole thing is going back to having fun with this stuff too, man. Like a lot of us take this way too serious for everything to be as simple as it is.
Yeah, a lot of people do, and that's one thing. Like I told when me and Sleazy first popped on here, I was like this. Like this show. This ain't about politics. This ain't about drama. This ain't about BS. This is about Arkansas wrestling in general. There are a lot of shows that the level of talent may be completely different from one show to the next, but there's majority of these shows are putting on good events. They're entertaining their fans, whether it be 20 or 300. That's what it's about, and that's what I want to get out there. Some people may not like some of the people on the shows that I put out there, but I'm going to be covering 99% of all Arkansas wrestling. And I say that 99%, there is that 1% that I will not discuss, I will not bring up, and I will not talk about. And we all know exactly, if you know Arkansas wrestling, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about.
Same, but I may have a mug shot on the shirt on Sunday.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Hey, I don't know. We were just talking about these people don't know who the hell you are. You think they're gonna know who the hell you are?
Hey, I don't care, man. I don't care. I'm like, all right. So let me say this, man. You've been around me since I started, since they wanted me starting this shit. For so long, I played the role of trying to be quiet, not saying nothing, handling everything behind closed doors, which I still do. I don't believe in putting everybody's business out, and I don't believe in putting all of my business out. But at some point, that humble shit got to go out the window, and people got to learn to stop playing with you. And that's the mindset that I'm in. Like, I'll go somewhere, try to do everything the way that it needs to be, and it's always that one person in the locker room that has some kind of issue, whether it's with me or somebody else. Or it's always that one person that wants to be their locker room veteran and tries to be their bully towards everybody. And I'm like, dude, that's not how none of this shit works. I feel like
it's unnecessary.
Yeah, I feel like I've gotten in a position now, not saying that my voice or my opinion means anything, but I think I've done enough credible work now to where I can stand on my word now. To where when somebody tries to come at me with some kind of bullshit, I can stand up against it. To where when somebody says, hey, why don't you work this show? Well, I have nothing against that show or the workers that work there, but every time I see something from their promotion, it's always something negative. Hey, man, why don't you do this podcast? I try not to do too many podcasts because I still like the mystique and the mystery behind who I am as a person. But every time I look up, it's always some kind of drama, some kind of bullshit. So it's like, are we really progressing, or are we just trying to keep stirring the pot so we can keep sensationalizing the drama behind the egos of all of this shit? Me, I'm past all of that. I don't care how much money nobody's making. I just want a good match up on the card, want good footage, and then I want to move the fuck on and do what I need to do. But you have some people that are like, I'm the veteran of this town and blah, 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 just because you work two companies for the last 20 years. And my mind doesn't make you a veteran. But unfortunately, we still have to respect those people too, to a certain degree. But it's been way too many times, at least for me personally, to where people either tried to misconstrue who I am as a person, started a false rhetoric or a false narrative about me, said I was hard to work with, said I was in the ring trying to injure people, said I wasn't trained. One of the people who helped train me was telling people I wasn't trained. So yeah, I'm just at a point now to where I'm like, hey, fuck all that. It is what it is. It's water under the bridge in my mind because I no longer care about any of this stuff. But when it's brought up, I have to shut it down now because I can't let people just keep on running the same rigor mode. But same thing for anybody that I'm cool with. If I catch somebody trying to talk crazy about you, like, hold up. If David doesn't like you, it's a reason for that. So what did you do? One big thing I've always been real on is, and even with myself, everybody is always the hero and the victim to their own situation and their own story. When they telling it, you got to find the in between to try to figure out what's real and what's not and snuff out the bullshit. Unfortunately, We're telling stories. We're professional entertainers. We lie on a regular basis. So it's a lot of people that's lying on a daily basis about the personal stuff too. But that's neither here nor there. Back to August 3rd, man. Uh, August 3rd, Kapow Comics, free backpacks, free school supplies. Just talk to them today. Got Lenny subs. They're gonna come out. They're gonna bring some food for everybody. Apparently, we may have some cupcakes and cookies for everybody too. I might bring my edible box. But yeah, man, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna kick it. We're gonna party, music, DJs, everything, the whole 9 yards, man.
And you know, if you're coming to watch, you know, there will be chairs, but there, you know, depending on the amount of people that show up, there may not be enough. So if you got one, bring in a chair with you just in case. And what I would suggest from last year, if you can, bring you an umbrella too, maybe block out some of that sun off of you.
Bring you an
It's
umbrella.
been hot out there.
Yeah, the show, we're gonna set up is gonna be a one for anybody who wants to show up, network, talk to people, try to get seen in front of some other people who may or may not run their own shows, or who may or may not be able to put a word in for you for another show. But just don't come with bullshit. If you want to come help out with the show, all you got to do is just come and show up. There's 600 jobs in wrestling. Everybody is not going to make it in the ring. But I could always use an extra cameraman. I could always use somebody to help just guide people and say, hey, you need some water? It's hot out here. Go over there, get some water at that ice chest. We always need people like that.
And I will say this is to a lot of the younger wrestlers that, you know, only a couple years in, you know, hadn't been doing this long. It may not seem like you're doing much when you're doing stuff like that, but you're making that impression towards these promoters, showing them, hey, this kid's doing what needs to be done just for a chance to get a spot on this show. I'm not saying you should go to every show and work for free and stuff like that. But the thing is, though, is like I said, once you make that impression, that shit sticks. There's several guys that I have went to shows specifically to work, specifically to try to make them look good, because I remembered, you know, 2 years ago, they were out there sweeping the ring between matches because it was an outside show, or they were out there making sure that all the guys had water and that they were cooled off and everything like that. People remember that stuff. So
yes,
you guys remember that.
Seriously, like, all right, the first time I got called up to AEW, my match got scrapped because they was filming the Ring of Honor Supercard, and they had the Joshis and the guys from Japan over. So they completely killed every match that was supposed to happen for Dark. My role for that day and my only task that they wanted me to do was walk around and introduce myself to everybody I saw. That was it. And they sat there and watched my fat black ass do that.
But people remember stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know?
But for the people, because it wasn't just me, they told a group of us to do that. Me, Shazza McKinney, and Bryson Maddox. We were the only three that did, and we were the only three that they walked up to and said, hey, go put your gear on. We're going to get pictures of y'all, and we're going to put y'all in our network and keep y'all in the loop. Out of all 20 people who was invited up there.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So you never know what's going to lead to what. You never know who's who. You never know. Check your emails too. If your information is up to date and out and really out there. But this is more than just wanting to be seen and wanting to be in the ring. Because just being honest with you, those companies like that and being real, just starting out, going into other companies that's on the indie or local scene, they don't give a fuck about what you can do in the ring. Your role is to show up and make your opponent look good. And
I've been in the ring a multitude of times with people that a lot of guys would not want to work with. Just being real, saying that, you know, they weren't fully trained or this, that, and the other. But my job was to go out there and make them look like superstars.
Yeah.
That was my and that's my job. As I may not have been doing this as long as a lot of guys that are considered veterans or whatever, but I am older. I know I don't know how much like physical time I have left there, but I know that when I show up, my goal is to do whatever is best for that show. And like a little while back, me and Bruce got booked at a show. Show Nothing Chicken. What the hell? Fucking Fred.
Fred must be hungry.
He's in the house watching. But no, that's the good thing about having the better internet now. Anyway, we were booked on this show, and the goal was to bring us in because they had a babyface tag team that they weren't getting booed, they weren't getting cheered. The reaction was, "Hey, they're here." And at the end of that match, they said that was at any show they had been at, that was the biggest because they won. And that was the biggest reaction that they got in their entire career wrestling. That right there tells me, and that's not me trying to sound like egomaniac or I got an ego or anything, any of that crap. That right there tells me I'm doing my job.
Well,
that's what you should do.
Well, not only that, man, because I've been in the ring with you and I've seen how you work with other people. And it rubbed off on some of us. It really rubbed off on almost all of us. With me starting out in certain situations, it was a downfall because people tell me, "Hey, man, your size, you're giving them too much." But my mind is, if I just kill them, who the fuck did I beat?
Exactly.
But the way that I've seen you go about stuff is, even if I'm going over, I'm still gonna make this kid. Even if I'm get my ass whooped, I'm gonna find a way to sell or still put them over in some way, shape, form, or fashion. That way, even if you're only in that company for one night, in the eyes of the other people that was in that crowd, that person is now one step more credible than they were before they worked you. But like I said earlier, this shit is an ego game with some people. If it's not about them and their push and getting them over, they don't care about it.
And that's the bad thing is, and again, it's not just Arkansas; it's just wrestling in general. That is a bad thing because I know I've been over in shows in other states and all where, like if I walk into a locker room in Arkansas, I know what to expect most of the time because of my personality and everything like that. But I've been to other states with other shows that I walk in and you're the outsider. You're the guy. You should, you're taking somebody else's spot. All this, that, and the other. I'm like that shouldn't be that way. I'll be honest with you. Like one of my favorite locker rooms outside of Arkansas that I've ever worked with, EPW.
Oh yeah.
And this was like pre-COVID EPW. It was a little bit different back then, but man, as soon as I walked in, they were like, I'd only been wrestling a couple years, and they treated me like I'd been all over the world. They treated me like I was a special attraction and this, that, and the other. And it was along the lines of they made me feel welcome. And being only a couple of years in at that time, that was not something that I was used to, even in our home state, So that's the way that I try to treat people. I don't care if you've been wrestling for 6 months or 60 years. I'm going to treat you the same because you deserve that until you give me a reason not to.
True. Now, what I like to do, I'm not going to say who told me to do this, and I'm not going to name the company, but I was brought into one company one time and they were like, your role is to humble everybody, because they were like, here we got a lot of guys and girls that look like $1 million and they get their head up their ass with 3 left feet. They don't know what they're doing in the ring.
I remember this story.
So I walk in the locker room with my food and I'm sitting down and I'm eating, moving real slow. About 3 people walked up to me because they already knew about me. Go out to the ring and I'm 90 miles an hour. Come back to the ring. Oh, what the fuck was that? Where they come from? Hey, bro, we need to. But by that time, it's too late. Because you done already turned your nose up at me, looked at me sideways, tried to crack your jokes, say, oh, this is just another fat dude in here. Why is he here? And then when I jump up and kick somebody that's 6'6", 6'7" in the back of the head, they're like, what the fuck was that? Well, that's the reason why I was brought in. Now, what it's up to you as a talent to do is figure out your why. Why would somebody want to bring you in? Why would somebody want to book you? Why are you doing this? Chelsea, I know it's a lot of back and forth right now about the WWE Unreal show right now, but on that show, it's a lot of stuff that I do feel is being overexposed, but I feel like it's also a good exposure because they're breaking down how this stuff really works behind the scenes at that level. But it's also an interview with Chelsea Green where she broke out. She was like, if I win the match, I have to win my match with my finisher because I lose all the time. But the reason why I lose all the time is what's getting me booked and keeping me on TV every week. Her role is to enhance and make everybody else look better than she does. She's a female Miz, if you look at it.
Dolph Ziggler.
Now, Dolph for me is the double-edged sword on that. Because even William Regal said it. Yeah, he told us this face to face. Sometimes you can be so good at your job to where it holds you in a certain spot.
Yeah.
But for years, Santino Marella is the most dangerous person in anybody's locker room. Look at how he made his name.
Yeah, he was just on NXT last night, wasn't he?
Yeah, him and Ethan Page. Hell of a match.
Yeah.
But it's like the good thing about us being on the Indies, we can define what we want to do and tell our own stories in our own ways. Man, go to these companies, work your match, take your shit, whether you winning or losing, and repurpose their footage and tell your own story, create your own narrative. It's a lot of clips that I post from matches that I done lost, but you will never know it because all you see is a little 10 to 15 second clip from that match.
Yeah, I just recently posted one from my match with Main Event Bradley. Big boot and a back body drop. Looked like $1 million. We went a whole 7 minutes in the entire match because it was so damn hot out there, But I got I've got a couple other good clips with it too. But yeah, make the most of what you can do.
Man, you got to, because at the end of the day, the way some of these promoters see you is just gonna be how they see you. You got to get out and create their name or create that. I hate the word aura, but you got to create that for them to see you. When certain companies bring me in, and that's another thing too, all bookings are not good bookings. I think what helps me out is the fact that I'm no longer trying to be at every single company every single week. There's still some mystery about me, regardless if you deal with me or not. But when I'm there, it's like, all right, let me tune in and see what he's gonna do. But because I'm not there every single week, because you see me going off and doing other stuff, there's still the mystery of why the fuck is he the one getting booked on shit? Let me look at it and figure out what's going on. But by the time you figure out what's going on, it's too late. I'm already moved on to something different. But
that's the way our group has kind of become the what's the word I'm looking for?
The nomads.
The specialty act, the
attraction.
Yeah, we've kind of become that. We're hitting different shows left and right. There's some that we're booked coming up that I don't know the quality of what we're doing yet, because they're newer shows and stuff like that. But I'm all about giving people a chance. Some of my best matches have come from some of the worst shows that you could be booked on, but then some of my worst matches are on some of the higher profile stuff that I've done, So it's like Yang said, it's a double-edged sword on that stuff. We're a special attraction at some place. APW is one of my favorite places to work, but the booker there is like he's straight up. We are, for him, we're a special attraction, so we only get to work there here and there. I'd love to work every single show for them because I love the way they do things, but it's just not in the card.
But when you show up and you're that attraction and you're actually doing something when you're there, it makes it that much more important. But it puts you on the road to where whether you win or lose, it doesn't matter.
And that's where I try to be at. Like years ago at ASWF, for a short time, I was their heavyweight champion. And I'll be honest with you, up to that point and after that point, I lost a lot of my matches. I lost a lot of them. But this is the thing that I've always tried to put out towards, a lot of people and the younger guys coming up. Now, your character, your personality that you present at the show is what is gonna make you memorable. And I feel like that's one thing that I've always, where I lack at in ability, I make up for in character. And that's where you got to look in the mirror and say, look in the mirror and be like, what do I bring to the table other than I'm a good wrestler?
Well, not only that, do you believe in your own gimmick or what you're trying to pass out? Like, people think the Fat Jitsu stuff is a character. That's how I really am in real life. You've been around me for years. The same stuff I say on the microphone is the same shit I say in real life.
Yep.
The same jokes I crack is the same jokes I crack on everybody in real life. It's just dialed up a bit. But it's a lot of people. You can't be a devil worshiper when when you're in the church 6 days a week.
I probably could, but
but no, you get what I'm saying though. Like,
no, I get it 100%.
If your gimmick isn't you got to find a way to make your gimmick more relatable to you. Like, all right, think about it.
Or at least you got to know how to flip that switch, and that's one thing. You've seen me in the locker room. I'm being me, and then when it's like it's almost time for my match to come up, you see that switch flip.
Yep.
Especially when that music hits, I'm Draven Morrow 100%.
Yep. And some people can't cut it on because, just being honest, there's a lot of people that's in the stuff that probably never been in a real fight before, so they don't know how to flip that switch, and they don't know what recesses of the mind to retreat into to be able to pull that out. But not saying you have to have a hard upcoming or anything to make any of this shit work. But what I'm saying is, think about it. When Roman Reigns was wearing blue contacts in the ring, we knew that wasn't him. We knew that didn't work. Suffering.
I never paid attention to that.
I know. I'm calling some stuff out there, and they show you how weird my brain works. But suffering succotash, him trying to do them little one quick liners, trying to throw stuff out, that didn't work. But when he came back, oh, this is my ring, this is my company. That was something you can believe in, because that's what was beating his head for the last 10 years that they were trying to do the mega push for him. It just took year 11 for it to finally hit and finally start working. But
that's what guys around here need to learn.
But you got to believe this shit. I don't care what nobody say, man. Go back and restudy Kurt Angle. Look at how quick he learned the business. But within 6 to 7 months, man, they was already pushing him to be a prime player within the top 6. But look at how he was able to flip from being comedic to being serious all at the same time.
Yes. That is one person him and Undertaker are the two people I tell anybody, if you want to learn how to be a legit professional wrestler, that's who you need to look at. It's two different ends of the spectrum on a style wise.
Yep.
But when it comes to character wise, being able to create this character that what you do fits to what the character is, I mean, it's uncanny.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, you can use your character to hide stuff that you can't physically do. Look at Mick Foley.
Oh yeah.
Look at I said Santino earlier. Look at R-Truth. We know R-Truth can go, but he didn't have to. But how we spoke about being an attraction, when he turns it on and he starts hitting the stuff and he's 90 miles an hour and he's hitting the forearms and going into the spins, it's like, oh, where'd they come from? I forget he did
that. Right.
When who is somebody that's wearing out fast to me right now? Lyra Valkyria. As much as I like her work, it's something about her being on the main roster that's not really clicking to me. But it's because her character is kind of stale to me. But she's also in a situation to where some people can't see it unless they really just study it. But we can see that Becky Lynch is carrying her through the storyline.
Well, and that's because we look at wrestling differently than your normal fan.
hmm
You
But
know.
it's still the disconnect opposed to when somebody like I know I make this reference a lot. Opposed to somebody like a Samoa Joe getting on the microphone and saying something as stupid as, "This is my group and we're the ops and we never call lacking." It's the way he inflict that tone in his voice to where it's somewhat believable. Or somebody that's like a John Cena. I'm gonna come back and ruin wrestling. And then people are like, "Oh, this is great." And then he comes back and actually has bad matches. His finishing move right now is hitting people in the face with a title belt. He's giving you what y'all wanted. And yeah, it's kind of getting kind of stale, but maybe that's the point behind it.
Well, and that's what Bruce, who just popped in, even though we're streaming on his Facebook page as well. But no, Bruce, one thing that he has always said, because Bruce is the war wolf. And one thing he has always said, time and time again, he goes, "You may not believe in werewolves, but I'll make you damn well believe in me."
Yeah.
And that's what it is you've got to have that believability in what you're doing. Like me, I've legitimately had people ask my wife if there's something wrong with me, or like when I was doing the cult thing over in OCW, I legitimately had people messaging me asking me if I had tried to start my own religion, And that's the thing is I may not be a great wrestler. I may not be great in the ring, but you're damn well going to believe cause you believe in what I'm presenting because I believe in it. I make myself become that person, and that's what you got to do to get far in this. Like if it was just on pure wrestling ability, my ass wouldn't have lasted a year.
Now, where I'm going with this though is kind of beckoning back to what we talked about earlier. You put somebody in the ring who's trying to figure out what their character is, what they need to do to develop. You put them in the ring with somebody who has already figured out what they want to do, understands what they are, understands their role on the card, understands the story of the match that they're telling, and lays it out for them. They have no choice but to learn from that. Which is why I'm not just saying this just to try to get people to show up. If you're not booked on the show and the only shows that you've been working is the same 2 or 3 shows, come out to this show so you can see something different. Because like I said, sometimes it's all that's needed for this shit to start clicking. I'm not gonna say his name, but last year when we did the Battle Royal, we had a big guy in there. And I told him, "Hey man, straight up, I don't like the way that people are booking you. They booked them to be weak. You know who I'm talking about." And I said, "This is what we're gonna do because I need you to still be that big dude, but we got to find a way for you to get eliminated to where it's credible and makes it work, but it doesn't kill you as a big guy." So I told him when he hits somebody, they go tell him to go down. When you and this one other person who's also a bigger guy, when y'all square up, punch, shoulder tackle, shoulder tackle, shoulder tackle. But on the third one, when he comes off his feet, that's the only time you bump. And when you bump, you roll over and you sail to the ropes, use the ropes to pull yourself up, and everybody is going to come and dump you out the ring. But when they dump you out the ring, don't fall. Land on your feet, go to get back in the ring, and then realize you got eliminated.
And he did it.
And it did what we needed to do, put over a smaller big man, put over everybody eliminating him, but it still protected him and his size.
Well, and that goes along with doing what needs to be done. The other guy in that part of the story at another show, literally all he did was come out, work his character, talk shit. As soon as he got in the ring, he was basically eliminated.
Yep.
And really showed his character afterwards. And because of that moment, even though it did not happen, one of the, I would say, top guys in Arkansas wrestling, if not in the South, wanted to work a program with this kid because of that. So that's why I say, do when you work a show, you may not always agree with what they're doing with you, but in the long run, you're there to do a job. You're there to do a job, and the boss tells you what you need to do.
True.
And doing what you're asked of several times will get you farther than going out there and going into business for yourself.
Yeah.
All
Cause I'll cut you out. I'm sorry, I'll cut you out, and you don't want to fight me. But man, all this shit is work, man. It's all the work. It's all the work. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some promoters that are going to keep stringing you along because you're going to allow them to, because they know you want to work their show. But that's where you got to have the wherewithal to bet on yourself and say, hey, I don't need this shit, and go out and do your own shit. Because, to be honest, I'm not trying to get into the old conversation that we always seem to have for some reason, but that's literally what happened with me. Motherfuckers was talking shit, two-faced shit, smiling in my face, stabbing me in the back behind my back, not knowing I was in the know the whole time. And as soon as I stepped out on my own path, shit started working for me. There were times where there was some lows within this shit, but y'all would never know it because the way that I present shit online makes it look like I'm always doing something, even when I'm not. Even when I'm hurt and I'm taking a couple weeks off the rest, it looks like I'm always working. Control your shit, man.
Well, we have hit an hour and a half. We spent the first half of this putting over different shows that's all around Arkansas. If you didn't see it, go back and watch. Did a little bit of an interview with Sleazy E, talked about his progression from wrestler to promoter. And then we've spent the last probably 45 minutes here with Mr. K. Toomer, putting over, let me get it up here again. This Sunday, Kapow Comics got a free wrestling show and backpack. What was the time frame again?
For those who want to come help out, for those who are in the Battle Royal, ring setup is at 1 o'clock. We're gonna start giving out backpacks at 3 o'clock. Showtime, bell time is at 4:20. The goal is to try to get everybody out before 7 o'clock. And I'm talking, when I say everything, I mean ring tore down, put up in the truck, clean up, trying to have everybody gone by 7 o'clock. Because unfortunately for us, and they do it to us every year, but it's just the time of the year. WWE always runs an event for some reason when we're trying to run something.
Oh, yeah, SummerSlam. Yeah.
Yep, I won a SummerSlam. So,
right. And I actually have a few people from my work that are coming to this show, and it is their first ever event to live to watch. So
dope. And I'm not saying my house is the biggest house, but if anybody trying to come kick it to watch Summer Night 1 for SummerSlam until the edible kick in and I get tired and don't want to be around nobody no more, some of y'all are welcome to come as long as you don't stink.
Damn, I'm out. Well, anyway, man, KT, I appreciate you. I always enjoy having you on here. I know we can be real with everything without being too much of a bunch of dicks. But and that's what I've tried to do, tonight. There are some, like I said, there's only a couple of things that I will not discuss. And we all know why. There's certain shows that I refuse to acknowledge. I did acknowledge 99% of wrestling in Arkansas. Threw up their flyers earlier. Like I said, if you want to check some of them out, definitely watch the show, from the beginning. Again, Facebook deletes stuff, live videos after 30 days, but you can always go back and find these on YouTube. My YouTube channel, the Special Dummies Unit channel, Bruce McGowan's YouTube channel. You can find them all on there. But what the hell?
Oh,
there's some arms just like poked out from behind your head.
Oh, yeah. The homie back there.
Oh, I did not know he was there at all.
You know I gotta be here for the cameo.
Man.
Lord.
Hey, let me say this, man, because I've noticed there's been a lot of people that's been hitting me up about trying to get booked on the show. And this is why I'm gonna start telling people I need to make a shirt. I'm not a promoter, I'm not a booker, I just do shows from time to time. Man, the shows that I book, man, they're already the actual cards and the matchups. They're already booked sometimes 6 months to a year in advance. But this is the importance of why I keep saying show up, introduce yourself, network with people. This is somebody who asked me to be on the show last year that just completely no-showed me. I won't book him, but he's welcome to come because it might be somebody else he can talk to that might want to book him. But don't get mad because you're not booked on a particular show, because guess what? I'm not booked on none of y'all shows. But also, if you know you're not Facebook friends with somebody and you send them a message, 90% of the time, that message isn't actually going to their inbox to where they can see it. That message is going to another box or the message request.
Message
We don't be
request
checking
or
this shit.
spam.
We don't be checking this shit. So don't get butthurt if you send a message and there's not an immediate response. Don't be butthurt if you send a message and I don't see it, because to be honest, I have a life and I get pussy. So I'm not just always on Facebook like some people may think. But show up, network, meet people face to face, shake hands, bump elbows, crack some jokes, show people that you're actually a cool person and that you can be a commodity to any locker room that you step into, and get off the bullshit. I know it's gonna be somebody that's gonna watch this and go back and say, blah, blah, blah. They think they know it. Fuck all that, bro. This is for progressing the state of wrestling, not just for Arkansas. Although this is based for Arkansas, this is progressing wrestling for all of us, man, to where we can start stepping into a different light and start stepping into the light we're supposed to.
This show is to highlight Arkansas wrestling, but not just Arkansas wrestling, Arkansas wrestlers.
Yep.
And that's the thing, is if you want to be a part of this show, if you want to, next time I'm running, I've already got a couple of people that I've talked to that are already wanting to be on here. If you want to be on here, all you got to do is hit me up. I may not be able to get you on right away because I don't know how often I'll be running this, because right now it's hot as hell out here. That's why I like regular special dummy unit on Thursdays have been sporadic because it's just been too damn hot. And also, I finally got my internet stuff situated, so now I can do a little better with that. But just hit me up, let me know. But again, KT, I appreciate your time, and we are going to get out of here.
All right, man. And remember, wash your ass. It's summertime.
Damn it. Quit attacking me.